about Coinbase, the digital wallet for your cryptocurrencies. There is right now an ongoing Coinbase promotion where you are invited to, invite a friend to join Coinbase too. And just about anybody registering with Coinbase, which is a free service to register with, gets the invitation to become a referrer, to invite a friend to Coinbase. Here you go. And why would you do that? Well, you'll both get, $13.22 in Canada, but that's about $10 US. So going back to the presentation here, you invite a friend, you get paid. It's simple enough, right? Well, it is wrong. In theory, you and your friend get paid. That's awesome. But even though it sounds attractive, you need to read the fine print because you both aren't getting paid just when your friend joins. He has to buy or sell $100 US equivalent in the first 180 days for the payment to happen. That's a lot of money, especially if you're not into cryptocurrencies to start with. And basically, it won't be everyone who will jump into those hoops, because if you go back here, what you see is really invite a friend and you both get $13.22 or $10 US. And that's so straightforward. You kind of go and not read the fine print. When they buy or sell $132.25, that's Canadian money, but that's basically $100 US on Coinbase. So there you go. That's really deceptive in my view. And some people might not find it deceptive at all, but I kind of do find it deceptive. So if you have referred your friend and he does not spend the $100 US, you and your friend will get no payment whatsoever. Zero. So there you go. So should you refer new people to Coinbase? Well, only if they intend to buy or sell $100 US equivalent in the first 180 days. Those are very important conditions, because if for any reason the person only buys after 200 days, well, you still get nothing. And if the person buys for $50 US, that'll score you 0 for both you and your friend. So you really need to spend $100 to get at that level needed to get the payment. So, if you want to work for free for Coinbase, why not? I mean, helping a company is always something people take at heart, and that's okay. But basically, you need to understand that this is a promotion that is presented as something easy. So invite a friend, you get money, but you need to read the fine print, because that fine print is really getting into something that is a lot harder than just invite a friend and you'll get money. So here we go. The deal sounds awesome at first, because at first read, because getting money, both you and your friend, for a referral gets everyone's attention. Sure, so that's fun. But the fine print, for those who care to read it, hides the details, which renders this deal a lot less attractive, especially for cryptocurrency newbies. And rest assured that if you're friends with people on Facebook and on Twitter and all your community, they will not be exactly experts in cryptocurrency every single time. We're just not there yet. At some point, a lot more people will be a lot more familiar with cryptocurrencies. Actually, familiar enough to spend $100, of course. But right now, that's kind of a long shot. So getting people in there to get this kind of money, if they spend this kind of money, you might get one friend or two friends. So, spending your time just trying to refer and tell him how to do it and following up and making sure he puts the money in. I mean, that's a lot of work for like $10 US. But of course, that might still be interesting for you. So if we go into the details of the proverbial devil right here, we learn more. Well, they get into the specifics. So you start by visiting the referrals page and you'll get your code. That code will be unique to you, so that's pretty easy. Your friends can click the referral link, and that is nice and fine. They can sign up on Coinbase after that. They will then complete their account. So that's another little twist right here. Completing their account. So you have to understand that Coinbase handles money. So completing an account for this type of business is probably more than you think. In my case, I had to send in electronically my driver's license and a copy of my passport. So those documents are filled with personal information you don't give to anybody. You don't trust. So in my case, I trusted Coinbase enough to send them that information. But perhaps your friends will not feel the same way. So I'm not saying they absolutely have to send those documents, but the Coinbase system does authentify you easily if you submit that kind of paperwork. So you might actually have to consider sending them at some point. So of course, and initiate buy or sell in one of our supported countries. And that's another twist because it doesn't support all the countries. Let's go have a quick peek at which countries. So the digital currency conversion services are currently available to customers in the big ones: Australia, Canada, Singapore, US, the UK, and the following European markets. So as you can see, a lot of markets in Europe, even the smaller ones. San Marino is there, which is interesting. I don't see any big country in Europe that isn't there, basically. But then you have to wait for the others, because the Coinbase Global, you can still have an account if you're somewhere in Africa, but you won't have the digital currency conversion services that you have in these countries. So that's another point which you have to keep in mind. And then there's the fourth point, the one where you have to buy or sell $100 equivalent in your domestic currency. Like you saw in Canadian dollars, that was a different amount than in the US, because of course it's a different currency, but it basically boils down to $100 US. And that's also in 180 days. So once you read that, you say, okay, I'm in the clear, and it's fine. I'm okay with that. It's a lot of a lot of hoops, but maybe I want it. So you have more details here that tells you a little bit how this will work. So you can actually advertise it in the social networks, and that might be actually the best way to do it, because if you want to reach a lot of people in a short amount of time, that's most likely your best bet. And you can also import contacts from your email provider, of course, but in emails that might be considered spam pretty quickly. Not saying it won't be considered spam also on Facebook and Twitter, but maybe if it's your private emailing list, you have maybe a lot more chance it gets read if you have something interesting coming in, let's say, every week in that emailing list. So, well, actually, if you look right here, when someone clicks your link, you will get credit if they sign up anytime in the next 90 days from that computer, even if they close the browser and come back later, which is nice. But in the next 90 days, that's 3 months. But if for any reason you have a bunch of friends who don't read your things within 3 months, for any reason, well, if they come after 100 days, even if you're talking to cryptocurrency fans, well, you won't get paid at all, because your referral link will not be attributed to you to start with. So there is no limit on the number of friends you can refer. So that is amazing. That is really, really cool, because some programs put on those limits, and after a while you just basically work for nothing, which is really not fun. You have, I think it is Dropbox, which gives you more storage if you refer friends, but after a certain number of friends, you have reached your maximum amount of storage you can get through referring people. So that basically sucks, because if you can refer more people, that will be good for Dropbox, but they've put a cap on that to make sure they don't have to give out storage to too many people when they refer too many friends in their view. So then you can send the funds to an email address, and this will register as a referral as well. Yeah, of course, that is another way to do it. So the advanced details are here. Basically, they just explain how the referral link is made, so that's pretty straightforward and standard. And then you have all these nice information about why your referral bonus will not show up. It's basically the exact same thing as this paragraph, but in reverse logic, meaning that if your friend did not purchase the $100 or more, well, until he buys or sells $100 equivalent or more, I mean, you will not see the color of your referral bonus ever. So here it is, also the important notice. They always put these at the bottom, which makes sense. If you do read the whole thing, you will get to it, but it's kind of important. Unfortunately, we can't guarantee payout on every account you refer due to the limitations mentioned above and risk of fraud. But we make a good faith effort to do so whenever possible. So I totally understand. I totally understand the nice folks at Coinbase for putting it here, because the problems with fraud are huge everywhere online, and not just at Coinbase. If you look all the social networks, there was a statistic floating around telling us that something like half of all the Facebook accounts are fake. They're just shells to use by bots, or some very knowledgeable users using that as an army of users to, well, further whatever agenda they find about. So the fraud problem is really big. So they will make their best effort, and I understand that's why they are asking for driver's licenses and passports and your picture, which they will actually and probably put into some kind of database to identify you later on. And just as a commentary here, it basically identifies you when one of the selling points of cryptocurrency is being able to do business in a rather anonymous way, while having to provide all those very specific details about yourself kind of beats the purpose of anonymity, which does not exist if you are using Coinbase and referring them all your private information. So then again, Coinbase can change the terms of the referral program at any time, so that's okay. That can be understandable. But still, that is a risk to you, because if you invest a lot of time of creating things and trying to refer people to Coinbase, you will have the job to look around and go at Coinbase and see if that program is still active. So there you go. And even if the people you refer do not choose to go onto Coinbase, I have trouble with that word, you might be doing them some kind of free marketing also in your network, which is very good for them. So that pretty much wraps it up, and thank you for watching, hoping that if you can make money with that, well, go for it. If you can get rich, you should do it. But I do not recommend putting all your eggs in the Coinbase referral basket, even if I have to admit it looks very, very, very attractive. The pitch is good, the pitch is awesome, but the details basically kill it. for most people. So if you know those cryptocurrency fans who spend money like crazy all the time and for whatever reason they still don't have a Coinbase account, well, you might have your customer base cut out for you. They're just looking for Coinbase and they needed you to find it. So help them. But other than that, I mean, stay away from something that will make you waste your time and do free marketing for a company which will basically likely never pay you a single cent. But that is all up to you. So do as you please and do as you see fit. So good luck with your marketing of the Coinbase Invite a Friend program.